Hello and welcome to another adventure of Bachelor Cooking. This is filmed in Pittsburgh, PA at the Paul Shannon Studios. And today's special is going to be The Joys of Marination, filmed in Super Marination. And now please join our feature presentation now in progress, not filmed before a live studio audience. And today we have some venison, courtesy of Reece down at the U.S. Coast Guard Station. We have some nice cuts, well marbled as you can see, thick. And venison is more like pork loin if you want to think of it that way. So basically you want to cook it low and slow because it will dry out fast. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to marinate it. And today we're going to do this a couple different ways. Number one, we're going to put some in a marinade bath, and then I'll get to the other one in a second. And if I could have a little Alfred Hitchcock music, please. E, 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 E. It's very important when you marinate. You'll want to go ahead and perforate the meat. You want to make sure that all the juices of your marination gets in there. So for example, we have this one. Which will go in this nice little tub here. And we will get to that one in a second. And then we have the larger one. And this requires us slimming it down just a little. So we take the knife thusly and we just split it down the middle before we go on to the next step. And again, you want to perforate the meat to allow that penetration of all the marinade. And this marinade will be a combination of 11 herbs and secret spices, which usually means whatever I happen to have in the closet. And I usually start off with putting the meat in a bag. And then I add some vinegar. Distilled white vinegar is good. Sometimes you can use lemon juice, maybe even orange juice. But since I don't have any orange juice here, we're going to go with throwing in the vinegar. Now I'm presuming by the nature of this meat that the archery expert that got this for us made it a quick hit, down dirty, in and out, and thusly maybe not too gamey. So we'll see. So what we're kind of doing here is to tenderize the meat. Like I said, it's lean, it will cook tough. So I'm adding a little black pepper. I'm adding some habanero sea salt for a little bit of tang to it. We want to get some of the gaminess out of it, but we also want to work on the flavor of the meat a little bit too. Because there's not much fat in there, so it's not really going to cook much. We have some habanero lime next. A little pinch of that. And a little adobo. And finally, we're going to add salt. Salt makes a osmotic differential, so to speak. There's this thing in physics called the free energy gradient, which basically means you have all your liquid in the steak inside the meat. You put salt on the outside. The salt on the inside, due to the free energy, the liquid inside, due to the free energy gradient, will migrate out. And then after it goes outside, it will migrate back in, bringing spice with it, till we achieve some sort of osmotic balance. And that's how marination works. For our second set, which we have a nice roast here, by the way, I'm going to do this one a little different. And one of the things I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to cut it down a little bit. It is rather large, but that's good. That's what you want. And we are going to corn this next section. And by corning, if you've ever heard of corned beef, this is unfortunately not like corning glass, it's just corned beef. But we're going to add the herbs and spices, and we're going to wrap it dry, and we're going to see how that works. And when I cook this, one of the things I'm going to do is I am going to, one of the batches will go into the crock pot, and one of the batches will go into a fryer. And we will bread that one and fry it. And we're actually going to make Schnitzel, which is kind of a easy way to kind of fry the meat and make it thin. But in order to make a Schnitzel with venison or any meat, you have to kind of make the meat thinner. So I call this moment in this episode where Bambi meets Thumper. And what you want to do is pound your meat. This is the joy of marination. Now you don't want to pound it into oblivion, but you do want to pound it to make it thinner than it was. And in the process, you're rupturing cells. So this does allow for the corning to get in there and tenderize it. The beating process of your meat does tend to tenderize it as well. So, with that done, we're going to take this section and we'll set the meat inside. And again, we'll use a little bit of salt. And on this one, we'll use a little bit of adobo. Not much, just enough to get it started. And we do side A and side B. Throw in some pepper. And we're going to wrap it up tight. Roll it, mark it with a B for Bambi, you see. So that's how you corn meat. This is a kind of a poor example on how to do it. I've seen it done with whole flanks of meat, but that's the basic idea. You're going to wrap this up, and you're also going to allow this to sit somewhere and dry. So that's pretty much it. And one of our future episodes, we will be taking this. Some of it will be done in a slow cooker, some of it will be breaded and schnitzeled, and we will cover that. Then after we let this thing corn for a few days, we will test it with Svenguli's cornometer just to see how it came out. So that's it for now. We'll be talking at you later. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and thank you for watching, because you obviously didn't learn very much. This has been a Jimmy TV presentation. Don't forget to rewind your VHS and your YouTube videos when done.